Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins.
Makes the score Dolphins 7, Bills 0.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Taken in at the 3. And he's going to be brought down inside the 5 at the 3.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the Bills winning on the road, so they look for the sweep here in Buffalo. On 2nd down, Cook. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And that is incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Watch out for Hill on the return. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A 50-yard punt return touchdown. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make the score 14-0. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Allen off the play fake. He rifles one that's intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. After the turnover, it's Tua. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa out to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Allen and Knox teaming up there for Buffalo first down. Looking to throw. Allen. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
This one complete to Jalen Waddle.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And they'll get him down right about the 20. Off of play action. Tagovailoa. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He is going to find Hill here. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here. A chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Jair Elam makes a pick.
And nothing but daylight ahead. 30, 10, 5. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and a Bills touchdown.
So what a play there in the final minute of this first half. They get the interception. More importantly, their first points of the ball game.
Yeah, that one play certainly changes the outlook, doesn't it? I mean, they're looking at going into the locker room. No points on the board. Not playing well defensively. Deflated. And now, things may have changed for them.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he stopped immediately there. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And going deep for Hill.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Jordan Poyer. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this 3rd quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
Takes it to about the 37.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. To throw on 2nd and 6. Allen. And Diggs has it. that his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production means they don't want to be in 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
To throw, it's Allen. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today.
Now Hill to return it. Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up.
We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Tua sets up to pass it. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On play action, Allen. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
On play action, Allen. Going deep for Diggs. And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked up by Xavier Howard. That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him.
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Eric Ezukama, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
This one fielded at the 5. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
Their own 20-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
Exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need.
Back now in Buffalo. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4. They run it again with Cook.
And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Play action. Now it's Allen. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he's got room. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Here we go. This offense on third down today, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. Touchdown. Tyreek Hill. He scored on a punt return, and now he's scored through the air. And the Dolphins look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15.
Beginning this series with a handoff to Cook.
And they'll be stopped right at the 30. On a play that started back at the 15, they pick up 15.
Probably wishing that they could have had a few runs like that earlier in the game, now facing this deficit in the 4th.
Hard to criticize a run of that magnitude, but they really need those types of runs to go the distance and need bigger plays to try and get back into this one.
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36.
69 yards on the ground for him so far.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Here's Cook again. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4 on 2nd down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. Room here to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They pitch it out to Cook. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run-pass option.
And they're right down here looking for 6. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. And they'll indeed take a knee. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Dolphins,
their battle to finish above 500 gets a slight lift as they move to 6-8 on the year.
And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Bills,